Hello, how are you? I'm Julia, and for this video, I'm going to be talking about the Priest series. I don't know. I think it's just called the Priest series. I don't think she said anything else about it. But that's what I'm going to be talking about. These are all a little taboo. I went into these kind of open-minded and a little nervous because I'm not deeply religious. It's not something that is like something that I care about. But this still made me a little uncomfy going into. I did really enjoy them though. I do want to say that. I also want to say that I don't think that this is for everyone. If you liked it, that's great. If you didn't like it, that's also great. But yeah, so just before going into these, remember that they are very taboo. They are not something that everyone is going to enjoy, and that's okay. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about them. The first one is Priest, and this follows Tyler, who is a priest, and Poppy. Poppy goes into the church one day and goes in for a confession, and Tyler is kind of obsessed with her voice, and she kind of obsessed with his. Some things happen, and then they meet, and some more things happen. I really liked this. I kind of went in and I was like, I don't know, and I was never ever gonna read this, but someone recommended it to me at work, and I was like, okay, I'll read it. And I think you gotta go, if you're gonna read it, you gotta go in with like an open mind. Sierra Simone, I know she put it at the beginning. She says, I spent the majority of my life in the Catholic faith, and while I'm no longer Catholic, I still have the utmost affection and respect for the Catholic Church. While the town of Weston is real and delightful, St. Margaret's and Father Bell are inventions of my imagination and entirely fictional. That being said, this novel is about a Catholic priest falling in love. I really enjoyed this. I liked the way that she talked about religion in this, and how he has a friend, Jeremy, I think. I literally can't remember. I am terrible with names and I don't know why. He also has Millie. I forgot about her. So he has like a ton of people that are like kind of Millie, who is kind of like, you came into this too early. You should have had more life experience. You should have done other things, blah, blah, blah. And he's kind of like, we know why he did it. Something happened to his sister. We know that his sister had killed herself, and we don't particularly know why. We do learn throughout the book that a priest molested her, and she never told anyone, and so she ends up dying, killing herself, and it's very sad. And so he becomes a priest so that he can help people and not hurt them, and I liked his sentiment. I thought that was nice. I really liked Millie. I liked his friend Jeremy, who is a priest as well. He's like the head priest of the church, I think. I'm not exactly sure how all of that works, but yeah. So then he meets Poppy and he falls in love with her, and they just start sleeping together. Now, here's my only issue with this book. I wish it would have been more of a slow burn. Out of all three of the books, or the other two books, he seemed to be the most into the religion, or maybe not, I don't know. No, I don't think so. I think maybe the third one. But this one, he was very deeply into the religion, and he was a priest, and he was very, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be a priest for the rest of my life, and like nothing is going to change that. And then he just I felt like he should have had more like, self-control, I guess. I don't know. Like, I just felt like it should have been more of a slow burn, and, like, it should have been waited out. Like, he shouldn't have fallen as fast as he did. So, I really liked this. I don't know. Poppy, I didn't talk anything about Poppy. Poppy, unfortunately we don't. I mean, we do get a lot of Poppy, but, we get more of Tyler because it is in his point of view. I liked how she kind of wrote his internal struggle with everything. This happens much deeper into the book and into their relationship. Like, he's very far gone. And I think Poppy is also kind of in the same boat as him. Like, we shouldn't be doing this, and who are you going, like, how is this going to end? Like, that is her side of things. We don't get her point of view, though. So, another thing that I wasn't, like, a clear fan of, but, I liked this. I liked Poppy as well. She seemed very, like, headstrong and knew what she wanted. She came from money and left because she didn't want to do what her parents wanted her to do. And she did all of this schooling and then was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Became a stripper and then went to the church and grew up to a priest, you know? So I really like this. I think this is definitely more than, to me anyway, like, coming from someone who isn't, like, a serious religious person. I liked the way that she wrote the religion aspect of it. I think it's more than just, like, a book of, like, a taboo smut book. I really liked it. We also have this one, which is Midnight Mass, and it also follows Poppy and Tyler. They are married, I think. Yes, they are married because they get married in the prologue, or the epilogue. So this one follows them a couple of years after they're married, and Tyler has gone back to school and is now writing his thesis, and he's kind of struggling with writing his thesis. Some things are going on with Poppy health-wise, and he's kind of being an ass in the beginning. I didn't really like him. But, you know, you fall in love with him again. But, yeah, it's a novella. It's 180 pages. I don't know, is that a novella? I don't know, but I don't think many people know about this one. That's basically it. Again, with Tyler and his, like, I really like the way that she wrote his thoughts, and Poppy's, because she's working, and there's another guy, and Tyler's kind of jealous about it, and she's like, you're an idiot, and it kind of, like, puts them back together because they've kind of been in, like, a rut with him working on his thesis and her just working. There also is, just, like, a little trigger warning, a miscarriage in this. I think there's 2. I can't remember fully, but this was really good. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, it's short. It kind of hurt to read a little bit because it was a little sad. But I, again, really liked it. Next is Sinner, which follows, who I did not talk about at all, but Sean is Tyler's brother. They are very much talked about, like, in the series. I think they're not really, I don't know. They're talked about. It's, like, known knowledge that he has brothers. He, especially Sean, is not very into the religiousness that he has put himself into. Like, he has 2 other brothers. So there's Sean, Tyler, and Aiden. So there's Sean, Tyler, and Aiden. Sean, after their sister died, they all kind of reacted or grieved in different ways. Tyler kind of pushed himself more into religion, and Sean kind of pushed himself out of religion, and Aiden kind of just pulled into himself. So this one follows Sean, but he's not the religious one. So we meet Zenny in this, who is Sean's best friend's little sister. So Sean's best friend is Elijah, and his little sister is Zenny. And they haven't seen each other Sean and Zenny haven't seen each other in, like, many years. And he sees her one night, and he's like, wow, she's beautiful, oh my god. And then he finds out that he has to go to this nunnery and, like, try to buy the land for his job. And he sees Zenny there. And she's like, like, no. I can't remember the name of it, but she's not a nun yet. She's like a nun in training. So they meet, and she's like, I want you to have sex with me before I become a nun. And he's like, you're insane. No. And she's like, no, I need to experience life. I need to, like, do this. I have a month. And Sean is like, okay. So I feel like I liked this, but I don't think I was, like, super invested in them because I didn't really care about Sean or Zenny. Sorry. I just felt like there wasn't, like, love. Like, it felt very transactional, like, we're gonna do this, and this is how we're gonna do it, and I felt like sinner and priest should have been swapped. I felt like this should have been, like, super quick, and, like, they jump in bed because she has, like, a month, and priest should have been, like, slow burn, like, he's kind of, like, having an internal struggle with sleeping with someone, and he didn't, and he's like, we're gonna take this slow, Zenny. And I was like, why? I didn't like it. I just felt like it took them a very long time for me to feel the chemistry between the two of them. Zenny kind of seemed, she is, like, younger. She did just kind of seem a little immature to me at times, and kind of, like, annoying. But I don't know if that was because we were in Sean's head and not hers, but I just didn't really like her that much until, like, the ending. Oh, sorry. I just felt like we didn't get to know her very well, and she felt very distant. I don't know. I just don't think she had a lot of character development, not as much as Sean anyway. Like, she did have it, but not, I feel like there should have been more for her, because she is the one that was going through the, like, this big change, and I don't know. I just felt like we didn't get to know her enough, and we got to know Poppy quite a bit, but we didn't get to know her quite a bit, and I feel like we should have. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, I have no idea. So, yeah, that's it, for this one. I liked it. I gave it 3.5 stars. I think this was my least favorite, and I don't know if I liked Saint or Priest more, but this one was my least favorite. I did like the ending, though. That I liked that he left his job and stuff, because his boss was a jerk. Oh, also, he is dealing with his mother passing away. So, in this, we are also, she gets cancer. I think in Midnight Mass, it's, like, a thing that is, like, being talked about, like, Mom has cancer. And everyone is kind of like, okay, this is something that we have to deal with. And then he is dealing with it. He's kind of the one that has, like, the money of the three brothers, and he's kind of paying for everything, and he's the one at home. Aiden is kind of like a recluse, like, he's kind of just, like, in his house, like, in the middle of the country, and takes him forever, like, takes him an hour to and from. So, like, Sean is dealing with his mother and her sickness, and he kind of feels the weight of that. And I do think that Zenny was pretty helpful with him towards that, kind of like Poppy and Tyler, with his sister, even though it was years later. So yeah, that happens as well, and that was also very sad. So the last one is Saint. This follows Aiden and Elijah. Aiden, after his mother passes away, he kind of like disappears. He's been with Elijah, I think, for like a year or two. They kind of hid it from Sean because Elijah is Sean's best friend and Zenny's older brother. So we meet him while right after like Zenny and Sean go through their little like breakup thing, you know, how that has to happen at the end of every book. And he's with Aiden and he's like, oh, whoops, sorry, interrupting. And then we start this and Aiden is now a monk. And so he's at what is it called? A monastery. He's at a monastery. I love it when I remember words. Oh my god. So he's in a monastery now. He's been there for like 5 years. And one day Elijah shows up and he's like, just wanted to let you know I'm getting married. I'm engaged. Hey, hi, hello, goodbye. So while he's telling him this, Aiden is in like a vow of silence. So he doesn't say anything. And then Elijah leaves. And then Elijah comes back and he's like, I'm a reporter, I'm a writer, like I want to do a paper on monks and the monastery. Am I saying that monastery? Is it monastery or monastery? I have to Google where do monks live. Monasteries. Monasteries. I still don't think I'm saying it correctly. So anyway, he comes and he's like, I'm gonna write this. And he follows Aiden around, who is Brother Patrick to the other monks. And he's kind of very much changed. He used to talk a lot and he used to ask a lot of questions and he used to make people laugh and he used to be kind of like the life of the party. And he's joined the Montessori and he's become very quiet and very reserved and very unlike Aiden. And so Elijah kind of sees this and is like, weird, okay. And we get in this one we get Aiden's point of view, but we also get like Elijah's journal entries. So we also get the paper that he's writing. So he comes to where Aiden is and then he leaves again. And then he comes back and he's like, because they've asked Aiden to, he's like, are you happy? Like his head monk, I don't know what they're called. I'm so sorry. He's like, are you happy here? Do you want to kind of like go around and see if you need to be somewhere else? And Aiden is like, yeah, I do. So he travels to Ireland, Belgium, France, and then back to Kansas, which is where he's staying at the beginning. And Elijah joins him. And it was so good. And I loved it. I just liked these. I liked the way that she wrote the religion. Like, their struggle with God. I really liked it. Because I think a lot of people, like, even if you're deeply religious, like, you have to have thoughts of, like, is this good? Is God doing the thing that I want? Am I making the right choices? I'm like praying and things like that. And I liked the way that she wrote it. I liked Aiden as well. I liked that he knew that he was ill, and he took a weird change. Like, who like jumps from mentally ill to monk? I don't know, but he did it and it worked for him. what I meant by that is usually people, like, feel as if they're mentally ill or suicidal and they go to therapy or they talk to a family member. He, like I said, kind of went into himself, and instead of speaking to someone, he just went to a monastery and was like, I want to be a monk. And I just thought, wow, what a big jump. Like, not that it's weird to become a monk, but, like, what a big jump from not having a religion to kind of being away from religion to jumping to a religion, like, as deep as monks are in religion, if that makes any sense. He also there is, like, a little mystery to this, because as we are traveling with Aiden and Elijah, we don't really know much about what happened in their relationship before they broke up. Aiden kind of one night came home late and the next day up and left Elijah his home and his car and his land, and, like, kind of fell off the face of the earth. So there is a little bit, like, of a mystery to that. Like, why did he leave like that? Was everything okay? Everything was not okay. So I really liked the way that was written as well. Like, we were kind of, like, there was, like, a little mystery. And I liked that it took him a moment to come forward and be like, this is what happened and this is why I left. And for Elijah to be like, why didn't you tell me? Like, I would have helped you. I really enjoy these. I liked Elijah. I liked Aiden. I thought this was good. I think these are more than, like, romance, as I said, and, like, just straight, like, smut. I think that she writes it well, and she wrote people growing and falling in love and falling out of love and dealing with loss and grief and all of these things, and kind of putting it with religion and the struggle of religion and people who have been hurt by religion, and kind of the different ways that people react and grieve to being hurt by religion or because of something that was done to someone because of religion, if that makes any sense. I feel like words come out of my mouth sometimes and I don't know if they're making any sense, but I just really liked the way that she wrote it, and yeah, I really liked these. I think Sinner was my favorite, and then Priest. I read the first three, like, January, February, and then I read Sinner in May. So I'm just trying to finish the series that I've started so that I can start other series, because I have all of these and I'm not finishing series. So I'm gonna finish them. And that was my first one, and I have not continued. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, all that jazz. And also, if you want, you can follow all of my social medias, which will be linked down below. I would greatly appreciate it. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.